Hi baby. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first video of my How to Become a Flight Attendant series. Woo! I have been talking about this series for so long and how I've wanted to do it. I mean, this has been like a year coming or something. It's been a while. I'm sorry. If you're new here, my name is Jenny Ernst. I am a reserve flight attendant for a major commercial airline in the United States. I vlog about my life as a flight attendant. So if you're wondering what it's like being a flight attendant, just go watch some vlogs. They typically span over about a week, so it gives you a good idea of what the everyday life is like of being a flight attendant. This whole series is going to be about 4 videos long. The first video, which is this video, is going to be all about the research process and how to apply to be a flight attendant. So researching which airlines you want to apply to and then how you actually apply. The second video is going to be interview tips, the face-to-face interview, the web interview. Some airlines still do phone interviews, so just kind of going over everything that you need to know for that, as well as tips. The third video is going to be how to prepare for and survive flight attendant training. And the fourth video is going to be just kind of adjusting to your new life as a flight attendant, because it isn't a complete lifestyle change. It's not like a normal job where the only thing about your life that changes is your job. Your entire life changes when you become a flight attendant. So that fourth and final video will just be tips, tricks, and just helpful advice on how to make the transition to the flight attendant life as smooth as possible for y'all. The first thing that I would recommend doing is make a list of all the airlines. So if you're in the United States and don't mind moving to a different country, then your list is going to be a lot longer starting out with. If you don't really want to move to a different country, then just make a list of all the airlines that are based in your country. And then what I would recommend doing is think about where you want to fly to. Where do you want to get paid to fly? Where do you want to lay over? If you live in the US and you want to be able to lay over in Europe or South America or Africa or Australia, then you're going to want to cross off all of the airlines that don't fly those places. Another thing that you want to look into is the difference between regional and mainline airlines. A regional airline is exactly what it sounds like. It's not going to be flying all around the country. It's just going to be flying kind of in the region, like near where your base is. It's going to be smaller airplanes. You might be the only flight attendant on that plane. If that scares the hell out of you, cross out regional airlines. Don't do it. Make sure that when you're applying to an airline that it's the main line. You're actually applying to American or to Delta, not WestJet or Piedmont or any of those airlines, because those are regional airlines. If you don't know which ones are which, Google. Google will give you your answer real quick. Something else to think about in your search for an airline is if you only want to go to an airline that is going to pay you to go to training, then you're going to want to cross off all the airlines that have unpaid training. My training was unpaid, so I had to save up some money so that I could afford to go 5 weeks without getting paid. Longer than that actually, because you don't even get your first paycheck until about a month after you come on the line. Again, like, keep note of which airlines are going to have paid training and which ones are going to have unpaid training. If you accept a position with an airline that has unpaid training, then you need to start saving now. So that way you can survive training financially. Another thing that you're definitely going to want to look into is how satisfied current and past flight attendants are with the airline that they currently work for or have worked for. Because if the airline that you end up working for treats its employees not very well, or its flight attendants not very well, your quality of life is gonna severely go down. One website that I definitely recommend for that, well, first off, Google. A quick Google search will give you most everything you need to know. But a website called Glassdoor.com is absolutely phenomenal in terms of employee satisfaction. You can even narrow it down specifically to only look at what other flight attendants have put in about their company and about their salary and their benefits and all of this other stuff. I will link that website down below. Again, it is called Glassdoor.com. Most airlines are going to be on there with plenty of information from current and former employees. Something else to look into, like I mentioned earlier, if you live in the United States and you're trying to get European layovers, then you need to make sure that you're applying to airlines that fly to Europe. So you want to look at the overall destinations. If you want to be able to see a lot of the United States, then you want to make sure that you're looking at bigger airlines that fly to many places across the country. Airlines like Frontier or Virgin or Alaska, I mean, yeah, they're big airlines, but they don't fly nearly as many places as, say, American or Delta or United. Something else to look into is, first you need to decide if you are 100% relocating to base, to wherever you get based, or if you're okay with commuting. Commuting is when you live in one city and you fly into base for when you have to work. If you absolutely don't want to relocate, then where airlines are based isn't really that big of a deal to you. If you for sure are going to be relocating to wherever you get based, then obviously you want to apply to an airline that is based in cities that you actually are interested in living in. If you are trying to live in Detroit, the only airline based there is Delta and like maybe regionals, but that's it. So your options are pretty limited. Or look at it the other way around. So let's say you're thinking about working for Delta. Go ahead and look at Delta's bases. If you don't want to live in any of those cities, then you probably shouldn't apply to Delta. Unless, of course, you're okay with commuting, in which case, like I said, go for it. In terms of prior experience and beefing up that resume, airlines are really looking for people who have customer service experience, who have extensive customer service experience, or just experience working with the general public, because that is what a flight attendant does. We work with the general public. We ensure their safety and we make sure that they're comfortable on their flight. For example, my personal prior experience included a couple different restaurants, retail, and I worked at Walt Disney World, and this was over the span of 8 years. So I had 8 years prior customer service experience before I applied to be a flight attendant. I also had travel experience. I had already studied abroad and my degree was in tourism and travel. But none of that experience matters unless you know how to translate it into a bomb resume. So make sure that you're able to translate your skills, your excellent customer service skills. You've got to be able to translate that and prove it on your resume. Think about the duties of a flight attendant, and then think about the skills that you already have from past experience and figure out how to word these skills in the way that kind of mimics the duties of a flight attendant. As much as airlines are focused on people with prior customer service experience, they are also interested in people that prioritize safety, because we are safety professionals. Some keywords that I would try to include on your resume include time management, customer service, obviously, multitasking, safety, and teamwork, like you're able to work as a team or in a team. You don't necessarily need a degree, and you don't even really need a degree in hospitality or in tourism and travel or aviation. I have plenty of friends that have degrees as nurses or in accounting or business or something like that, and then they decided that, hey, nope, I don't want to do this. I want to be a flight attendant. A lot of flight attendants are prior nurses, so again, they work with the general public. Just something like that. Start getting small little jobs and just building your overall interaction with people. One question that I get asked all the time is about paying for a flight attendant training, something called the Travel Academy or anything similar. Don't do it. Do not waste your money on something like that. Do not waste your money. Don't pay a company to teach you all of the things that an airline is going to want you to do their way. Once you get the job as a flight attendant, you're gonna have to go to flight attendant training with that specific airline, because each airline has their own policies and procedures. So don't pay to go through flight attendant training, because the airline that you get hired with, it might be unpaid training, but it might be paid. So don't waste your money on anything like that. It's not needed. Last but not least, while you're in the process of researching for airlines, start saving money, because your first year of being a flight attendant, you're not going to make a lot of money. Your first 5 years of being a flight attendant, you're not going to make a lot of money. You might make okay money, you might be like comfortable, but if you're single and don't have any other sorts of income, you're gonna want to have a backup, especially if you're gonna have student loan payments. Yeah, you're gonna want to start saving up money as soon as you start considering being a flight attendant, because your flight attendant training might be unpaid. So there's 5 to 8 weeks of living off your savings already, and then you probably won't receive your first paycheck until about a month and a half after you finish training. So that's actually living, like having to pay rent and food and whatnot. That's all gonna be coming out of savings. Assuming your training is unpaid. I would just go into this with the assumption that your training is going to be unpaid, because then you won't be surprised. And then even if your training is paid, then hey, you've got a pretty good savings that you're sitting on. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything in terms of researching airlines and which ones you want to apply to. So once you figure out all that, then comes the time to actually apply. Most airlines, you're just gonna apply on their website. You go to their website, you scroll all the way to the bottom and find some sort of link that says career or work for us or something or other, something along the lines of that. Click on that. You can apply from there. If they're not accepting flight attendants or if they're not looking for flight attendants at the time, keep checking back once a week. Sometimes airlines close their hiring process just for like a month at a time, just to kind of go through some interviews, and then they'll open it back up again, and it might only be for a short period of time. If an airline is hiring for flight attendants, great. Click on apply, go through the whole application process. You're gonna fill everything out. You might have an option to upload a cover letter. Do it. If you don't know how to write a cover letter, Google cover letter template, type something up real quick, submit. If there's an option to submit your resume, submit that. It's gonna have exactly what you already typed in, but still submit it. Remember back when I said about putting keywords on your resume? Yeah, keywords in the application. You wanna make sure that you've got these skills that flight attendants need. Make sure you are filling your application with those words. So multitasking, time management, customer service, friendly, outgoing, safety oriented, all things like that we need to do. Like that is part of our everyday job. I would include saying something about how you even work well without supervision, because you're on a plane, your supervisor's not right there, your manager's not right there breathing down your neck. So the airline wants to know that they're hiring people that are going to do their job and do it well, even without somebody sitting there making sure that they're doing their job and doing it well. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, good. Quick little recap. Make a list of all the airlines that you are considering working for. Look at where they fly. Think about where you want to fly. Look at where they're based. Think about where you are willing or not willing to live. Look up how satisfied their employees are, what their quality of life is like, the company's reviews, and all that jazz. Glassdoor.com is gonna be your best friend. Google is gonna be your best friend. Start saving money now. I promise you won't regret it. And apply on the website. Easy as that. If they're not currently hiring, check back once a week until they are. I think that's everything. If I left anything out that y'all can think of, if you're currently a flight attendant and I left anything out that you can think of, then leave a comment down below and I'll try to pin it toward the top or something so that other people can see it. If you are thinking about becoming a flight attendant, I hope that this video helped you out. Good luck on your search, and I'll see you hopefully sometime soon in the friendly skies. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that notification bell because YouTube is just amazing, and even if you're subscribed, sometimes it still doesn't notify you when I put out a new video. It's just great. It's just really great. All of my social media links are down below, so make sure you follow me on there to stay absolutely up to date. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Work hard, be kind, spread good vibes. I love you all. Goodbye. Probably the most important video of this entire series. Zeus, can you not? Come here. Come here. Come on, there we go. Okay. Zeus?